I am 58 years old. In 2013, when I was 45, I started on a journey to increase my financial health for the future. Some of my initial goals was I wanted a better overall self of well-being, peace of mind, lower my blood pressure, lower my stress levels going forward for the future. I went from hard work to smart work during my journey. And in this video today, guys, I'm going to talk to you guys further about smart work. This one action, I'm going to explain to you guys how that action led to better financial health for me going forward for the future. Stay tuned. So I further enhanced my financial health back in the days when I automated my accounts, thinking smart, right? Going from hard work to smart work. I remember the first account I automated was my Excel energy bill. This is when I lived in Minnesota back in 2018. That was the first account that I automated. And from there, I just went from there. I went through, it took me a little bit. I didn't have a lot of accounts. And then definitely have more accounts now than I had back in the day. But I went through all my accounts. Took me a few hours, but I got them all automated. I learned about how to do it. But before I did that, I wanted to go into my savings account and my main brick and mortar bank account and to talk to my people in my bank to see if my savings account was set up to act as a overdraft protection an account. And it was set up that I can put money in my savings account, and if anything happened through my checking account, my savings account could act as a overdraft protection account, and it was set up like that. So I made sure I set that up before. I was nervous about automation. I didn't know initially how it was going to all work out. So I was nervous about it, apprehensive, and I wanted to make sure if something happened, I have some type, just like you guys go out and get insurance, my insurance was to make sure my savings account could act as a protection plan in case something came through unexpectedly. And so what that did was it eliminated the fear of overdraft fees coming through. So I didn't, that was okay. It led to me being easy on that front. It also led to a need to be disciplined, right? And so my discipline muscle went away, so to speak, is when I automated my accounts. Everything's automated, everything's taken care of. So there was no need to spend the time to go through each account and do it manually, right? So that led to some easiness, and I didn't have to worry about everything being automated. I didn't have to worry about my credit score getting hit because all my bills were, fine-tuned, taken care of on automation. So I didn't have to worry about having any type of, late charges or anything like that. And so, but it also led to, and how that worked, guys, was that when I got paid for my job, automation is when you get paid from your job, it goes straight to your bank account as instructed by you. From there, it gets dispersed to various accounts, and that's automation, right? Everything's, you go through all your accounts, set up the dates here, set up the date for that, set up the date for this, and everything dispersed throughout the month to those various accounts. And also back in the day, that led to some of my first stabs at automating my investment accounts, right? So I automated those as well. The second thing that I noticed that how automation enhances your financial health was that it eases your burden on the aspect of fraud and suspicious activity, right? So, or being robbed, for example. I remember back in the day, it was nothing for me to carry around a lot of cash. But going automated, that eliminated my need to do that, right? And it's, in case there's some situations where I would go out to the ATM and get $20, $30, $40 out for spending money and stuff like that. But there was no need for me to carry around hundreds of dollars anymore. My automation took care of all that, right? And so it led to less fear of getting robbed, but it also, when initially though, like I said, I told you guys before, I was nervous about it. I still had to make sure that my accounts were okay. It didn't, going automation don't give you the don't give you the luxury of sticking your head in the sand. You have to throughout the month, throughout the year, you have to make sure that you take care of your accounts. Go look at them and make sure they're okay, right? Any kind of suspicious activity, you got to report that. There's some features on your various accounts that you can go on and they can help protect you. but still you have to protect yourself. Even now I'm sitting here talking to you guys. That was back in 2018 when I established that. Here we are now in 2025, guys. I still have to protect my accounts, right? There is something that I got involved with recently that I want to tell you guys about. Those of you out there that like me, you go in your browser and check out all your accounts. You may have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different accounts on one browser. There's something I got involved recently that further enhances my protection. You know, you think about all your accounts being out there, all your personal information being out there. Stay tuned. I want to talk to you guys about that, and I'll be right back.
The internet of today isn't as open and simple as it used to be. Some content is restricted by location, websites track your every move, and managing multiple online accounts can feel impossible without getting flagged. Whether you're trying to browse privately, access geo-blocked content, or securely manage multiple accounts, you need a tool that gives you full control over your online identity. See, that's where GoLogin comes in. GoLogin isn't just about privacy. It's about freedom, security, and control over your online experience. Here's what makes it different. Unblock any content, access restricted sites, streaming platforms, and services from anywhere. Full digital privacy. See, unlike regular browsers, GoLogin stops websites from tracking you. Multiple account management. Easily switch between different profiles for work, social media, or business. Work securely from anywhere. Share accounts with your team without sharing your passwords. No IP bans, no tracking. See, GoLogin hides more than just your location. It protects your entire online identity. 2 gigabytes of free residential proxies included. Get fast and secure access to content worldwide. If you want privacy, security, and complete online freedom, GoLogin is the tool you need. Try it for free today. Click the link in the description.
Next thing automation does is it eliminates decision-making fatigue. You know, for me, it was, I think life is already stressful as it is. And back in the day, I remember, what a luxury it was to have everything automated. That took away my decision-making on what I can do on all my different various accounts. I let the automation take care of that. And I can tell you guys, from me personally speaking, that I said before, life is already hard as it is. When you're going through your debt-free process, it makes it that much harder. And having everything automated eliminated a great portion of the decision-making process for me, which helped me feel better, right? It lowered my blood pressure. It definitely was less stress in my life by doing that. And I got to tell you guys, that was big for me. I always tell you guys that from my perspective, there's 4 different healths out there, physical health, mental health, spiritual health, and financial health. And this going automated on all my accounts definitely enhanced the rest of the 3, the health for me going forward. Okay, no doubt about it. Next thing that automation did was it took my good habits that I was establishing already in my financial health and just made them greater. I think good habits go to great when you automate, right? It really put a line in the sand, right? Here are my needs and here are my wants. By going automation, you can specify in your various accounts, and separate your needs and your wants. And I did that. It took me a while to do that, but I made sure by putting some parameters in place of all my various accounts, there was a line drawn in the sand. Here's my needs up here and here's my wants. If I wanted my wants, I had to do certain things. I had to go in my account, for example, and get money out if I wanted some of my wants taken care of, all right? It really fortified my budget, so to speak, okay? No doubt about that. It definitely cut back on unnecessary spending. Next thing, we talked about the budget. I can't tell you, one of the most important ways that going automated really helped me was to be organized. I knew how much free money I had by being automated, everything all being automated. I knew how much free money I had for this. If something came up, I knew how much cash flow I can put toward it, right? It led to talking about the budget. Like I said, this is one of the most important ways it helped me to be organized. Was it led to me not only budgeting my money better. I can go into my budget app and look and see where money was going here, my money was going there, but it also led to me to better track my money. And for me, I don't know about you guys, but for me, in your journey, you're going to probably go through something different, most likely. You're not going to have the same, experience I had. But for me, guys, I can tell you that was instrumental for me to be better organized with my money. And the next thing that automation did for me, guys, was we talked about it earlier, how I didn't have to manually pay bills and take my time and pay this anymore, do that anymore, do this anymore. Time was very instrumental for me, because you guys know, you've seen my last videos. If you're new to the channel, I explained to you that I worked a lot during my debt-free journey, and even now I work 2 and 3 jobs. It was very, very instrumental for me, because that took time away. When I was manually paying my bills and stuff like that, guys, it took time away from my time to make money, right? So when I went automated, that gave my time back. It gave my time and freedom back. My time and freedom was very instrumental for me, because I had to go out and make money to feed my debt freedom, right? And the last video I talked to you guys about my endeavor of into the smart work world was my last video. I explained to you how I took my PTO time, my vacation time, to enhance my momentum by going on vacation and using extra work to feed more paychecks into my debt freedom, right? Adding more and more paychecks, adding more momentum. It's the same thing here. I had to make sure my time was spent wisely to go out and make more money to add to that momentum. And by having more time, I can do that. And you can't have more time, guys, is when, for me, in my perspective, when your time is spent, taking 2 and 3 hours to pay bills, for example. And so this was very instrumental for me in doing that. The next thing I think about when I think about automation and how it helped me in the past was I had to think about opportunity costs, right? I had to think about opportunity costs, because when you're in the weeds of doing your grind, and you're doing this manually, you're doing that manually, you're taking all your time to do this, that can take away opportunity costs for other things, guys. I had to make sure that when I went automated, look, I knew my savings are going to be taken care of, my investments are going to be taken care of. If an opportunity arose that I was going to be able to be in position to take care of that or jump into that, right? Nothing was going to bypass me. If something came up, like a business opportunity came up, I had the necessary cash flow to get involved with that, to jump in that mix, right? So opportunity cost is also very prevalent when you go automated, because that leaves time to you to get involved with other things, right? I talked about before about how it allowed me time to go out and get my side hustle on, my part-time work on, or make extra money to feed my debt freedom, and then later on to feed my investments. Well, that's very important when you talk about automation as well. The biggest things, guys, lastly, one of the biggest ways and how automation helped me was it helped me vision for my future. It helped me have more hope and dreams for my future. What my future, it gave me a better vision of what my future would look like going automated. And I always thought of the day of when, like now, when I look at my accounts and my accounts improve financially, and I can see the fruit of my labor, and it gave me hope. It let me plan for my hope. It let me plan for my hope. And I made plans. I took my hope and made plans out of it, right? And it led to a better view of my vision. It's one of the greatest things you can go through. Me, can't speak for you. Your journey may be a little different than mine, but I can tell you, for me personally, it led to a better vision of my future. And it gave me a lot of inspiration. It uplifted my spirit. And it took me again. I took my hope. It gave me more hope for the future. And what I had to do was expound on that. I took my hope and made a plan out of it. All right, guys. So those are some of the ways that my automation enhanced my financial health. All right, guys. If you're new to the channel and like what you heard in this video, I'm gonna ask you to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and do one important thing. Share this information with someone you care and love. You believe they can use this information to their advantage going long term. And who knows, maybe you can too. We've come too far to give up who we are. So let's take it to another level. Raise the bar. Only then can we toast to ancestor stars. Peace.